Guys, FIFA 22 is now out. If you haven't already, make sure you do go pick up a copy at aniba.com. You can use the discount code Lukepingu and save yourself an extra 3% off. Also, if you want to get any PSN gift cards, if you want to get yourself some FIFA points, there are also some very good prices. And again, make sure you do use the discount code and save yourself a lot of money. You're right, guys, welcome to episode number 5 of the Derby Criminal Life. And to start off this episode, we're currently bottom of the table, 9 points after 15 games. Obviously, we've got the minus 12 to consider in there. Those 4 first losses, essentially, piling on top of the start that we've had. So, in terms of trying to get out of the relegation zone, that's what we'll try and do today. We do have Barnsley to kick it off. We're in 19th, so not too further ahead of us. But yeah, we haven't got that much longer until we actually get to the stage where we can start looking at signings. So we've got probably about the end of November in this episode, and then we've got another 5 games, and then we'll be making signings. So on top of that, we might be making signings anyway before that, because of players that obviously expire at the end of the season. So between the 2 episodes, we did get a few suggestions for signings. So we've added a number of players here. We got Medina from Lens. He's I think he's 75. I've actually seen this card on Ultimate Team. He's 75 rated, and I think he's got like 80 pace and something like that. So 22 years old. Be interested to see what kind of value he comes back with. We do have Felipe Cardozo. I don't know anything about, and it does say he has just moved. So maybe moved in the game. So we won't be able to sign him, I'm pretty sure. But maybe we'll give it a go in January, see if it does work or not. We do have Mastriani here. Mastriani, maybe that's how you say his name. He actually plays for the Barcelona team in, I want to say, the Argentinian league, but I could be wrong. It might be another league. But he looks like a decent striker. Obviously, that's an area that we're definitely going to look at improving. So we'll see what kind of scout report comes back. Then we got Thiago Martins from Yokohama, 6'1". He's not awful. 26 years old, like pretty much in his prime. Same with Costa. They won't have the most amount of potential, but as long as they're like, over maybe 73, 74, then they'll look to bring him in. We do have Flores here, 19 years old, from San Lorenzo. I think all in all, these are probably the players that I'd rather get, is the like teenagers, or at the very most 23, whereas the 26 and the 28-year-olds, they might be something that maybe short term will help, but long term won't really have much benefit. And obviously we've got Avia here. Does have a 3.4 million release clause, so I assume we could potentially get him for maybe 1 or 2 million. Can also play left back. And João Pedro from Watford, who I believe you might be able to sign on a loan, so that would be something that would be quite good. Obviously Watford in the Premier League now, I doubt he's going to get that much game time, so that's definitely something we'll look into once we get those scout reports back. So going into the first game against Barnsley, pretty much going to go with the team that we have here. I don't think I'm going to make any changes. I'm very tempted to take Forsyth out just because of fitness, but at the end of the day, Davies has only got 33 stamina, so Forsyth on his 77 fitness, but with 71 stamina, is probably better than actually playing Davies, who's on full fitness and 33 stamina. That just shows how important stamina is. Here we are then for the game at I think it's Deepdale, where Barnsley do play. Bruce has actually gone up to a 70. I'm pretty sure he was a 69 before, or even a 68, I don't know. Pretty sure Bruce has moved in rating, but I could be wrong. Yeah, looking at the Barnsley team, they do play a 5 at the back, which might be quite difficult to break down. Obviously, Hillick did get a team of the season last year, so he's obviously someone that's going to be good in that defence. They do have Will Lancaster there, who's 55 rated, so that's maybe somewhere we can exploit. But they do have Corley Woodrow up front, obviously a very good striker. Oh, what? Look at the camera on this stadium. Why is it doing that? Nah, this game. Play with telly, and then 15 height and 9 zoom, which isn't the most conventional of cameras, but on certain stadiums it will do this, where it almost like hits a corner and it can't turn. So I do apologise if you do get a bit motion sick watching this. Honestly, might have to just change the camera angle, because this is making me really unwell. I've not been feeling that well anyway, so I guess we'll go to tele-broadcast maybe and hope that fixes it, but I honestly don't know why. I don't know why you make things so complicated. I just want to use a certain camera angle, but apparently not allowed to. I don't know how people play on this camera angle, to be honest, because it makes it really difficult to judge where the ball is going. Like, you can't see the passing angles as well. I've got a chance here in the box. Chance here in the box. Oh, Jesus. And that's, I don't know how Burns not got that, to be honest. Thought he'd just clear it, but clearly not on ultimate difficulty. And Devante Cole with the goal. Yeah, it was really weird the way they go for those shots where it will hit the post and then just bounce back. If I can get the replay. If you look here, like, you shouldn't be shooting at that angle, but then I just don't know how Burns not clearing it, to be honest. Just look how many people are back for Barnsley, though. It's actually ridiculous. I just don't know how you're meant to score, really. And with the camera angle doing what it is, it just doesn't help me at all. This is the moment. If we're going to score, we need to capitalise on these opportunities. See that? I don't know. Maybe I could have done a bit better there, but... Please. No. I've just not enjoyed this game at all because of the camera angle. Just having to play on a camera angle that I'm not used to. Not really be able to create anything anyway because Barnsley play 5 at the back. Like, you look at... Like, for example, when I get into these opportunities... Like, what am I doing? Like, where am I meant to put the ball to get anyone into a dangerous area when there's 5 at the back and, you know, we don't even have a player in the box? Like, it's just pointless. I'm just going to simulate the rest of this game because it's pointless, even playing the last 7 minutes. Oh. I was like, oh, game's just going to end 2-0, but I don't even know what to say about that. Somehow rescued a point there just by simulating. I don't know how they managed to score 2 goals in 6 minutes when I don't think I had a single shot in that game, to be frankly honest. But yeah, I'll take a point, even though I didn't technically do it. Next game then against Millwall, again away from home. I'm debating whether maybe a 5 at the back might be the option to play when we do come against 5 at the backs, because you just can't seem to get anything in the box really. So you kind of need the width of the wing backs, but I don't know. We're just going to have to kind of teeter along until we get to January, and then we can actually make some decent signings, because at the minute it is rather difficult. Right, hopefully I can actually use my normal camera angle, which isn't too normal to most people, but I've always used it on FIFA for, you know, years, so yeah, the last couple of FIFAs it's been a bit of an issue with certain stadiums where it just won't fit, but we've gone for a bit of an issue at left back because both Forsyth and Buchanan are low on fitness, but I'll have to just sub on Forsyth for the last 20 minutes or something. But I've gone for Eberseli at right back just to see how he does there, of course, and then putting Baldock up front as an actual striker, so we'll see how this goes. I think they are actually playing a 5 at the back as well, so might be a... Oh, they actually... Yeah, they are playing a 5-2-3. So it could be a bit of an issue. Obviously, Scott Malone against us. And Bodvarsson up top, so he's quite an interesting one. Obviously, George Evans on the bench as well. No, literally open as anyone could be there, and I think that's Cooper. Is it Cooper? Try to see what his number is. I know he's number 5, but I don't know if he's... Yeah, I don't know what... Like, Curtis Davis just running away from him. Oh, that's a good turn. Chance in the box now. I do wonder if a 5 might be better, because I just don't seem to be able to get anyone. I don't know what that would really do. I think maybe a 3 at the back, and then just pile on the pressure up the top, but... Yeah, just try and force something from happening, because at the minute, we're just not really getting the numbers in the box. Come on, Lawrence. If he gets into a dangerous area, this might be decent. Please. Why has that not gone in the goal? So firstly, somehow saves that. Goes off the post. Bounces... How many times? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he just doesn't go for it. Chance here to make it 2. Bialik does just about enough. How is that? Like, what is the pinball? Like all blocks on the line, and then for whatever reason here, Bird just pinballing it off him about 4,000 times. But the one when we did it with Knight, just really frustrating. The one positive from this game is that I'm actually quite enjoying this 3-5-2 in terms of creating chances. The only problem is because our strikers are either too low in sharpness or bad morale, they just don't seem to want to score. There we go, there's full time. Yeah, we just need strikers, it's as simple as that. We just don't have anything when we get into the dangerous areas to actually do anything. But let me just watch that block on the line. Where was it? Was it this one? I think it was this one. I just do not know how we've not... Firstly, the header should be a goal. I don't know what he's done here. It's this bit here where the ball's like empty, like nobody's in control of that ball, but he's just like run past it. I just don't know why he's not put that in the back of the net, but I don't know. We'll go to the 3-5-2 for the next game, because I think it did definitely help creativity wise, and you know, going defensive wise I think we'll be alright. Yeah, there is a bit of a break now with the international. Right, next game against Bournemouth then. I think it might be I don't know, do we go to the 3? So as you can see, Colin Richards has got 0 sharpness, so trying to play him in the last game was probably quite pointless, and that chance that he had to score to make it 1-1, I think if it was Stretton he probably scores it, so that's probably my fault, but I just thought I'd get some height in the team. Although Stretton's about the same, yeah, he's a couple of inches shorter, but I don't know, do we stick to this? I just don't know if it's working really. I might as well try a different formation. So I've gone for something a little bit different. There's a few things I can do with it as well if I'm not liking it, but I've gone with this for now. We've got Knight as a left mid, Byrne as a right mid, Joswick at the cam position, then Lawrence and Stretton up front. Whether it works or not, we'll have to see, but looking at their team, they've gone for the 4-3-3. Ireland in goal, Cook, Lang, Billing, Lerma, Cook, Brooks and Jamal Lowe, so it's a very good team. Obviously they're second in the league, so weirdly enough though, when I play against the teams like in the top 5, I do a lot better than the teams in the bottom, you know, 10. Good chance here for Lawrence, please get the shot off. Keeper saves it, of course. Please win that. Oh yes, Curtis Davis. That's the one little benefit of him. You know, he does have that heading ability, and we do actually go 1-0 up against Bournemouth, which is massive really. If we can, you know, essentially keep the clean sheet now, we've got 3 points. It's a good little play here with Knight and Forsyth. Doesn't have the bestest shot on him, but I'm going to just have to shoot and hope for the best. And yeah, it's kind of annoying that unless you've got, you know, over 75 finishing, it's very difficult to score in the box this year. Please get there, Roos. Oh no. Oh Jesus. What? Oh, he's offside. I thought for a second that Roos had fouled him when he got the ball. And there we go, full time against Bournemouth. We do get the 3 points against second in the league, so really can't complain with that. And yeah, I definitely would say the four, like, you can see there we had 8 shots and they only had 3, so I think going forwards we're definitely going to have to look to play this 4-3-3, which isn't actually a massive concern in terms of changing to it because of our players, basically, if we have a look. So one option I have is this, that Buchanan goes into centre-back. He is only 5'9", but he has got very good jumping at 73, which you compare that with, you know, Bialik and you know, compare it with Davies, it's the same as Curtis Davies, so the only difference is obviously the height and the strength. not that actually much lower, so wouldn't be that much of a concern. So all in all, we probably just need to look at some more strikers, and obviously with Stretton being young, maybe playing him with someone who's slightly better obviously gives us some more options. So yeah, I'll definitely be going with this from now on. So we're only 2 points now off Huddersfield, so hopefully we can pick up a win in this next game against Fulham, who are third in the table, just below Bournemouth, who we did just beat. I'm slowly looking at the playoffs, because, like, is it realistic to potentially get, I don't know, you just have to win a ridiculous amount of games in a row when you're bottom of the league. So playoffs might be off the table for this season, but at least it's more authentic. Like, pretty much every single time I've done this Derby career mode, like, every single time I've been promoted, no matter what. So I think in a way it'd be quite good not to be promoted, and then that way obviously you're looking at something a little bit more long term. But yeah, we do have the scout reports back. I think Medina's going to be slightly out of budget for this season, because we only have about 6 million anyway, so maybe one that when we get promoted we can look at. But these other players are actually quite decent. Like, for example, all these players that are around 1.4, 1.3 million. Obviously Chao Pedro will be one that we'd look to loan, but apparently we can't loan him. Maybe you have to wait until you get into the window. But there's one of these players, I can't remember which one, has 6 months left on his contract, so I do wonder whether it's worth trying to purchase one now, because then that way you can save a lot of money, because we are about to go into December, so they're more than likely going to renew that contract. So yeah, as you can see, Flores is expired in 8 months' time. He does look quite decent as well. Obviously 19 years old, would help us with the objective from the board to sign players from South America. And I don't know what that means by players from South. Do they mean players that are nationally from South America, or do they mean players from the South American leagues? So not 100% sure what to do there. I think a mid-table finish is probably more realistic. But yeah, let's go and see what we can do with this Flores fella, since he is potentially going to be renewing anyway, so you might as well try and do it now and then save yourself a bit of money. So yeah, this would be quite a good signing. Obviously at 19 would make a lot of sense. I don't know if we go undercut them, or do I go at value? Because then at value, you still, like, realistically this guy would be worth 3 mil if he had a 4-year contract, but since it's only on 6 months, is it worth, do you know, I'll go slightly under. I'll go 1.3 if we can save the money. Obviously it does help. Yeah, realistically, if this guy had a good contract on him, ooh, Craig Forsyth, it is about the same value as well as what we've just offered. But I think if there was any player that I would get rid of, I'm trying to think who I'd get rid of. Maybe Kazim Richards or Stearman. Actually, Stearman might be the one to go, or Jagielka. I just don't think Jagielka, like, at 39, he's just deteriorating too much. And he doesn't have a player face. It really does annoy me when EA don't put the player faces on. So I'll go Jagielka, add an extra 100k, and see if they're interested in that. Because they are actually the same rating, Jagielka and thingy, but they've gone lower than what I did before. So I offered 1.3, but then the sell-on clause, I guess, is a part of that. I'll try and get it down to, if I can get it on 1 mil on the dot, then happy days, because I'm not that bothered about the sell-on clause, because realistically in 2 or 3 season time when it did ever sell him, yeah, there we go, I'm more than happy with that. If we save the 150k, but then it costs us long term, then I'm not too bothered, because 2 or 3 seasons down the line, 5% sell-on clause isn't really that much of a concern. So he is on super cheap wages as well at 1.5k a week, so let's go into those and see what we can do. I guess we give him important, because I think he will be playing a lot of games anyway. Regardless, try and give him a 5-year contract if he's interested. Cool, that's great. No release clause, that's also wonderful. He's 1.5 at the minute. Maybe I go up to like 2.5. something like that. I don't want to offend him, obviously, but I'm not 100% sure what signing on bonus I should give to him. But yeah, they've gone with that, so that's good to see. And yeah, we've got our second signing in then. Obviously, he won't be joining until January, so we've got another, whatever, 4 or 5 games. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more games, sorry. And then we'll get him in. So there's definitely one for the future, of course. Be interested to see if it ticks off. Yes, that does tick off one of those. So just need one more player from South America in the January window. Probably will be a striker as well. So we'll see what comes back with those scout reports on, who are they called? Can't remember the names. Maybe we can like loan João Pedro or maybe one of these players. Probably can't sign Cardozo, but maybe we can get Mastriani. Does look quite decent actually with 78 finishing. Might be what the kind of player that we need, just kind of proven goal scorer. You know, just to get us up the table a little bit. So if you guys have got any suggestions for South Americans, then obviously we're looking at strikers mainly, because we don't have any. We've got one. We've really got 2 strikers. You know, Colin Richards he's okay, but I just feel like there's probably better options out there long term. So yeah, that's definitely something we're going to be looking into. And yeah, hopefully guys did enjoy this episode. At least we've got a formation now that I'm kind of confident with going forwards. One thing I do need to do though is the custom tactics, because if you don't do that for whatever reason, the cam just drops back to like right centre mid or left centre mid, and that way it'll just be in beyond the striker. So yeah, I think going forwards it makes a lot of sense to do this formation. It's just whether I convert Buchanan into a centre back. Let's just see what it takes to do that. So yeah, it would take a good... The problem is his form isn't great at the minute, so that definitely changes how quickly this would change. So it does say 47 weeks at the minute, but maybe if he goes on to like really good form, it can go down to like 20 weeks. So wouldn't take too long. The only thing about him is obviously he's like 5'9", so not the best of heights for a centre back. Obviously we do need to actually, like, let me quickly do that before I forget, is extend Dylan Williams, but I think the rest of them I'll probably just let go on a free, such as Baldock, Davies, Jagielka, Allsop, Kazim Richards and Stearman, just because they're too old and they're just not going to be that useful long term. Probably something like that should be enough, really. Cool, there we go. Yeah, I think last time I accidentally just submitted £1, so he wasn't happy to do £1 a week for his contract. But yeah, looking at it now, you've got, you know, relatively decent contracts for everyone, and then obviously those players that are going to expire at the end of the season, you know, there's a good 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, like 30k in wages that we could quite easily sign on a player that's expiring at the end of the season. So maybe looking at some pre-contracts for season 2 might be something we could look at long term, because I don't, you know, we are in the relegation zone at the minute, but you look at it in terms of our recent form, it's actually been quite decent with the win against Bournemouth. Obviously we lost against Millwall, but the point against Barnsley, the point against Coventry, and a win against Luton. So it's about the form we should be at. Like, people have been recommending to lower the difficulty, but I don't think the difficulty is the issue. I just think we just don't have any good finishers really at the club. You know, 68, 66, 64 and 66. You know, as soon as we get somebody with anything over 70 finishing, we might actually start scoring some pretty decent goals. So yeah, let me know so many signings. Also, if you haven't already, check out the creator club that I am doing over on Facebook. We have just started that. It should be episode 2 out shortly. And yeah, I'll catch you all next time.